Hi guys, welcome to our webinar. We're just going to give it a few minutes just to let people be joining before we kick off. While we are just waiting for others to join, we're just going to publish a question in the Q&A kind of poll section for everyone to answer, just kind of on their feelings about AI and kind of how we're using it at the moment and how we're feeling about it. So if you just want to answer that while we're waiting for others to join, and then we'll get kicked off in the next kind of, 2 to 3 minutes. Perfect. For anyone new who's joined there, we're just running a quick poll to just understand people's feelings about AI and marketing, kind of your current relationship with it. So if you want to kind of pop your answer in there, and we're just going to get started now in the next minute. Perfect. Okay. I think we're going to get kicked off. We've given kind of people can start to filter in even if they're a little bit over the 2 minutes. But I just wanted to say hi to everyone. A very warm welcome to the AI Advantage, a new era of digital marketing. We're thrilled to have you all join us today. So before we officially kick things off, I know we just ran that poll there, just asking about your current relationship with AI and marketing. Looking at the results, I suppose it's clear many of you feel the same way I do. There's a healthy mix of kind of cautiousness and excitement about AI's potential in our field. So whether you're feeling curious about what's next, kind of a little bit overwhelmed about the pace of the change, or actively exploring new possibilities, you're absolutely in the right place. So today we're here to kind of demystify the impact of AI on digital marketing and hopefully give you some knowledge and strategies about not just how to adapt, but really to kind of thrive in this new era. This isn't about just understanding the technology, but also kind of unlocking that competitive edge for your business. So now I'm just going to introduce you to the team who will be kind of guiding you through today's insights. So first up, we have, first up we have myself. So I'm Anik, your host and the marketing manager here at Studio 49. Next, we have our resident Google guru and PPC specialist, Laura. She's truly an expert in navigating the ever-evolving world of paid advertising. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have our content queen, Zara, who is a marketing executive here at Studio 49 and helps bring all of our stories to life when it comes to marketing. So first up, this is what we're going to be covering. So whether I suppose with smarter campaigns, we're going to be getting better results. So Laura is going to be taking a look at kind of all the latest changes in Google Ads and demonstrating how smarter campaigns can lead to even better results for your business. Then Zara is going to be kind of delivering a masterclass in crafting compelling content using AI, showing you how to supercharge your storytelling and engagement. And then finally, I'm going to be diving into kind of recent bigger changes across the digital landscape that have been driven by AI, and kind of crucially how we can strategically navigate these changes to your advantage. So with all that being said, I'm going to now pass you over to Laura to kick us off. Thanks, Laura.
Thanks, Anik. Perfect. So, hi everyone, and thanks for joining. I'm really excited to walk you through this because I just want to show you that AI is no longer just a buzzword in marketing, and it's literally built into the tools we use every single day. So, whether you're a business owner managing budgets or a marketer just like me trying to make ads work harder, at some point you probably felt like automation is moving way faster than we can keep it up with, and I've recently had my fair share of why did my ads do that, and usually AI was behind it. So here's a quick roadmap of what we'll cover today. We'll look at how Google's AI actually works, so the brain under the hood. We'll look at core AI tools you're probably using already, and then we'll look at the real benefits AI brings and the challenges to watch out for. And finally, we'll guide AI to work for you, so with practical steps that you can apply right away. Just a little look back. So back until a couple of years ago, we literally had to go and change bids keyword by keyword, and sometimes we would do it daily, and we would do it based on performance, seasonality, or sometimes even instinct. And it was time consuming, and honestly, it was pretty easy to mess it up if you weren't careful. Then we used to have static ads with limited testing options. So what that means is that you would write one headline and one description line and hope for the best. A/B testing back then meant that we were duplicating the ads and waiting weeks for data. And we had to run separate campaigns for each Google channel. If you wanted to run a YouTube search display, that meant three separate campaigns with three different budgets, three different creatives, and three different learning curves. And lastly, there was data, but not like we have it now. You had to make decisions based off of limited signals, maybe device time or the day, but nothing close to the 100 plus real-time signals Google uses now. It felt a bit like flying blind compared to what's available today. So let's actually break down on how AI actually work in Google Ads. So smart bidding is Google's AI-driven bidding system. It looks at hundreds of signals like device type, location, and time of the day to calculate the best possible bid for each auction. We have several strategies here. Target ROAS for return-focused goals. We have maximize conversions for volume, and then target CPA when you want to keep conversions at a certain cost. And next up is responsive search ads. These are now the default format in Google Ads. We used to spend hours choosing the perfect headline and description trying to guess which one would perform better. Now with responsive search ads, Google takes the guesswork out. We can enter up to 15 headlines and 4 descriptions, and the AI automatically tests different combinations to see what works best. This usually leads to a better performance over time, but there's a trade off. You might get less visibility into which exact combinations are winning. And that's a big shift from the old expanded text ads where everything was manual, but also a bit more transparent. So it's a bit of gain scale, but lose some control situation. And then from individual ads to full campaign automation, let's dive into how Performance Max uses AI to take things to a different level. PMax is Google's big AI driven campaign type. So instead of running separate campaigns for search, display, YouTube, and so on, you can set up one campaign. And Google's AI places your ads across all of these channels, optimizing it as it learns. The big benefit is that it saves time and it can unlock new opportunities. But keep in mind again, transparency is limited. You won't always know which search terms triggered your ads or where exactly they were shown. And while Performance Max spreads your ads across Google's entire network, dynamic search ads take a bit more focused approach. It uses your website content to generate headlines and match relevant search queries. So instead of you writing individual headlines for every product or service, Google's AI crawls your site and creates ads automatically based on what's on your pages. And this is a great way to capture long tail searches you might otherwise miss manually. With that being said, it still needs a real human touch. I once saw a business whose dynamic search ads accidentally started showing careers page, which is not ideal. That's why keeping a close eye on search terms and exclusions is so important, even when the automation is doing all the heavy lifting. Now that we have covered the core AI tools in Google Ads, I just wanted to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. What AI gets right and where it still needs a human touch. So here, let's look at some of the benefits. AI takes care of a lot of heavy lifting. Gone are the days of manually adjusting bids, rotating creatives, and trying to squeeze performance out of a sluggish campaign. AI handles all of that now, freeing up time to focus on strategy, creative planning, and actually understanding your customers. Secondly, even the sharpest media buyer can't analyze hundreds of signals in real time, but Google's AI can. It considers device type, location, time of day, and search behavior, and that serves the right message to the right user. That kind of instant personalization was almost unthinkable just a few years ago. And thirdly, scaling up used to be tedious, copying campaigns, tweaking bids, and hoping for consistent results. Now AI can detect high performing pockets and shift your budget there automatically. But we have to look at some of the challenges as well. With automation, you lose some visibility. You might not know exactly which keyword triggered a conversion or which creative performed the best. It's a bit like driving a powerful car without seeing the dashboard. You need to trust the system, but you need to keep your eyes on the road. And marketers like myself will often use Google Ad scripts or custom dashboards to pull out the extra insights. But I do have to be honest, and it gets a bit technical. They're powerful, but they're not always plug and play. And we kind of have to face it that most teams don't have the time or the resources to deep dive into that side. And one thing to remember is that AI can only perform as well as the information you give it. But it's not all downsides. The good news is that there's still a lot you can do to guide the AI and make sure that it's working for your goals and not just running on autopilot. So, we will take a look at how you can make AI work for you. And one of the most important foundations of successful AI campaign is a solid conversion tracking. If the system can't tell what a successful action is, like a sale or a lead, it can't learn to optimize effectively. Whether it's enhanced conversions, offline conversion imports, your data needs to be clear and consistent because AI cannot optimize what it can't measure. And then AI will keep using the same creatives over and over if you don't update them. Performance will drop. Consistently adding new headlines, images, or videos keeps the system learning and your audience engaged. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just keep your creative mix fresh. We all had that one ad that was working great until suddenly it wasn't. And in campaigns like Performance Max, audience signals are your way of pointing AI into the right direction. It's like a gentle nudge that says, these are the kinds of people we want to reach. And the product feed, that's your storefront. Clean titles, clear images, and well structured attributes tell the AI what each item really is and who's it for. The better your signals, the smarter your results. You're not just feeding the machine, you're teaching it. And here's the thing to remember that AI is smart, but it's not a mind reader. It doesn't always know which clicks are worth paying for and what really matters to your brand. That's where exclusions and negative keywords come in. They are our way of saying, hey Google, not those searches. We use them to keep the budget focused, avoid irrelevant traffic, and make sure that the ads only show in the right moments. So everything we've covered from clean data to exclusions feeds into one truth. AI isn't magic and it doesn't replace strategy, it reflects it. And that brings us to a key mindset shift I want to leave you with. AI doesn't replace strategy, it responds to it. The more clear and structured your inputs are, the more intelligent and effective the outputs will be. With AI now handling many of day-to-day campaign optimizations, you might be wondering what's actually left for marketers to do. And the short answer is a lot. But the focus has shifted. We used to spend hours adjusting keyword bids, pausing low performance and poor performers, and micromanaging every little setting. AI handles so much of that now. And honestly, it can do it a bit faster, but it doesn't make us less valuable. It just means that our value lies elsewhere. And setting clear goals, analyzing patterns, and translating performance into bigger picture insights. So we've moved from button clicking to decision making, and that's a really good thing. And yes, AI can test different headlines and shuffle formats, but it doesn't know your tone of voice, your brand personality, or what emotionally resonates with your audience. So that's where we come in. Creative has never been more important because in the sea of automated ads, what you say and how you say it, it's what truly sets you apart. AI simply amplifies what you give it. And just like we had to learn SEO or get comfortable with Facebook ads a decade ago, AI is the next shift. You don't need to code, but you do need to understand how the system thinks. And marketers who can speak AI, who understand how to structure inputs, read automated reports, and know when to override the system will be the ones leading in this next era. With that, I thank you so much for listening. I hope this gave you a clearer view of how AI is shaping Google Ads, and more importantly, how you can stay in the driver's seat. Now I'll pass it over to Zara, who'll show us how AI is changing the game into content creation. Over to you, Zara.
Thanks, Laura. So, as we'll all highlight today, strong strategy and efficient processes are absolutely crucial across for navigating the digital landscape. So, we're now going to zoom in on what truly fuels those efforts, which is the content itself. In my section, we'll be exploring how we can revolutionize our approach to content, and then I'll be taking you through how AI helps us overcome, say, some common marketing challenges. And then we'll also look at how AI can assist right from the initial spark of an idea up until ensuring your content truly resonates and ultimately it delivers really powerful results across every single platform. So with all that potential in mind, I want to ask, what's the first thing that springs to mind when you hear AI generated content? For many of you, it's probably these types of images. Am I right? The undeniably unique, often bizarre AI generated images. We see them all over social media, and they're truly eye-catching, but they are seen as more of a novelty. So unfortunately today I'm not going to be showing you how to create the next viral art piece with AI, but instead I'll be exploring how AI can be a really powerful and practical everyday tool. So think of it more as a way to streamline your content creation, to spark new ideas, and then to overall really boost your content strategy. So we're talking about how AI helps you to win in marketing and not just generate the pretty pictures. And that brings me perfectly to my next section where I'll dive into exactly how AI steps up to help. All right, so let's dive into AI to the rescue. So let's be real, consistently creating compelling marketing content can be tough. As marketers, we're constantly up against deadlines, that relentless ticking clock for campaigns and new content. And then on top of it all, there is the challenge of juggling all those different platforms, and each of those then come with their own unique demands. Plus, throughout it all, there is the constant need to connect authentically with our audiences. And when you put all those pressures together, it can really make any marketing team feel stretched thin. But that's exactly where AI can become a powerful ally for you. AI is really about boosting what you can do, so it can help you work smarter, faster, and of course with more impact. So how does it do that? Well, we like to think of AI as a super smart assistant. It supports you in every step of the way in your content journey. So right from the very first idea right through to getting it out there and seeing how it performed. But it can also help you to do things like brainstorm and research quicker. It can speed up content drafting and creation. It can help improve optimization and personalization and boost distribution and scheduling. And then it can also help with performance analysis and insights. So basically, AI can help your team jump over, the common hurdles that help free up valuable time and resources for more like bigger picture type stuff. So to really see how AI truly fits into your day-to-day life, let's quickly review the content life cycle itself and then pinpoint exactly where AI can assist at each stage. We'll start right here we'll start right at the top with strategy. So when it comes to strategizing, it can really help you do things like define your goals, identify current trends, and then also pinpoint exactly what your audience needs, and spark fresh ideas. So once you've got that solid strategy, you then move into planning, and that's where AI continues to be really, really helpful. So it can assist with things like keyword research and optimizing your content structure so that it's set up for success from the very beginning. Then when you're in the design and creation phase, AI can really speed things up here as well. So it can help you draft text, generate initial visuals, and then it can actually even suggest different formats. And that then makes the whole creation process much faster and efficient. But the crucial part of this is a excuse me, a hands-on design team will always produce better, more bespoke results, and to make sure that it truly captures your brand's unique essence and your voice. So AI gives us a fantastic starting point, but the real magic in a campaign and the unforgettable impact that comes from the human creativity and expertise. So once that amazing content is ready, it's all about pushing it out there, getting it out there to as many people. And for distribution, AI is fantastic. So it can help you optimize your posting times and even automate distribution, so that it gets your content out there for a much wider reach. But the journey doesn't end there. And the final and most crucial step is knowing what's actually working. So for evaluating and maintaining your content, AI really shines in this part. AI powered analytics can offer fantastic insights and continuous optimization. And you'll see in a second as we go through some examples how AI enhances your content marketing at every single stage. Now, you might be wondering, is this just a trend? For me, the answer is a resounding no. So the shift to AI and content marketing is real, and the numbers prove it. And when I say numbers, the numbers prove it, I mean this. Look at these stats. They really drive it home. So first off, over 80% of marketers out there actually see AI revolutionizing content creation in the next 5 years. So that's a massive majority, and it just shows how everyone's realizing how much AI is truly going to transform things. And then here's where it gets even more interesting. Companies who are already diving into AI writing tools, the early adopters, the innovators, they're seeing an average 77% increase in their content output within just 6 months. So imagine what you could do with that kind of boost. But it's not about just being faster. When you personalize content, and AI is fantastic at helping you with this, by the way, it can actually drive 25% higher engagement. So that means your audience is genuinely connecting with what you're putting out there, and that's the main goal at the end of the day. Plus, businesses using AI in content creation, they're now reporting an average of 30% reduction in their costs. And I'm sure you all can agree, who doesn't love saving money while still getting even better results? So these stats are really just, they highlight how much AI is, it's shaking things up, and the serious potential it has for a great return on investment. So now it's one thing to see the stats, but how does this actually play out in a real world scenario? So I just wanted to share a quick example of AI coming to the rescue for me. So just recently I had the classic marketing challenge. I needed to prepare a last minute email brief and get it to our design team ASAP. So the clock was ticking, and I turned to AI. So I literally prompted it to draft email copy for a brand to advertise some new arrivals, and I even asked it to generate compelling subject lines and predict the best send times for that email. And the efficiency was incredible. It provided strong data-informed foundation in just minutes. But now here's where Studio 49's value truly comes in. So the immediate groundwork from AI meant that I could immediately pivot to the high value strategic work, like figuring out the right audience segments for the email, making sure it was hyper personalized, and then really strategizing the whole campaign flow. That meant then I could instantly jump into finessing it, to pouring in our unique creative flair from Studio 49, and then our deep understanding of that particular client's brand voice, to make sure that the message truly hit home, and it brought in good results. So this approach lets us, at Studio 49, deliver high quality and impactful content really, really quickly and efficiently for our clients, and then especially when speed is really critical. Because it's one thing to it's just one powerful example of how AI can become a super valuable assistant in our daily workflow. And it's really about kicking Studio 49's strategic value into like a higher gear. We're not ditching the human smarts that make, great marketing tick, but instead AI is helping us to handle some of that kind of, the time consuming groundwork for certain tasks. And then that leaves our expert team free to really focus on what matters most, which is giving top-notch strategy oversight, crafting those perfectly personalized campaigns, and then making sure every single piece of content nails Studio 49's meticulous care, and our unique brand expertise. Now, email marketing is a huge part of our digital strategy, and as my example showed, AI opens some really exciting doors there. But honestly, it doesn't stop at email. So at Studio 49, our expert marketing team uses AI as a powerful assistant to maximize our efficiency across virtually all channels. So think paid social, PPC, and SEO. For example, AI can assist with helping with the time-consuming kind of initial groundwork to that, which then allows our team to do things like optimize our subject lines. So our team uses AI tools to initially rapidly generate a diverse range of potential subject lines. And that means then we can quickly narrow it down and really refine the options. And that saves a significant amount of time on the initial ideation. So from that, then we can directly reinvest that time, and put it into the likes of meticulous analysis, intelligent refinement, and the likes of precise A/B testing in real time. So the success here isn't in the assistant, it's in our team's training, our insights, and our ability then to pinpoint what genuinely resonates with your audience, to ensure your message delivers really impactful results. And then beyond subject lines, AI's capabilities in email go even further. So it can also generate entire email copy, as you can see, as you saw from my example. And while human oversight is absolutely essential, and I can't stress that enough, AI can draft the initial content in just a few seconds. So this saves an immense amount of time up front, and then gives us a really powerful, compelling starting point to continue those persuasive messages. So the emphasis here is always on that phrase starting point, because that's where our team steps, that's where our team will then step in, and we can focus on, like I said, the strategic refinement, and ensuring your unique brand's voice shines through, throughout every single word and stage of your campaign. So it means we're not just getting words on a page, we're crafting messages, and making sure that that truly connects and converts, to build on, which is built on a super efficient foundation. Beyond crafting the perfect message, AI can also help us ensure it reaches your audience at exactly the right moment, because AI can also predict optimal send times. So how this works is algorithms analyze past engagement to pinpoint the very best moments to send your emails to ensure maximum impact and maximum visibility. So in fact, I actually prompted AI to pinpoint the optimal send time for this very webinar via email, and it gave me multiple different options, and all came with detailed reasons why that time would be best. And this means then that our team aren't just guessing, we're leveraging AI's analytical power, to make real data-driven decisions on when your audience is most likely receptive. And then it completely takes the guesswork out of crucial timing, and that allows our team to ensure your message lands precisely when it has the absolute greatest chance of success and engagement. So we've talked a lot about email and how AI helps us perfect timing and craft compelling messages there, but let's kind of broaden our scope, because AI's power is certainly, it's not limited to just email marketing. So now we'll move on to paid social and meta platforms. So AI can be a game changer in reaching your target audience effectively. So again, I want you to imagine what can be achieved now, starting with generating ad copy variations. So just like with email, AI can whip up a ton of different ad copy options for us really fast. So this means our team isn't just starting from a blank page. We can immediately dive into strategizing things like A/B tests and truly refining what clicks with your audience, so that it ensures your ads are performing optimally. So that's how we're getting a head start on generating options. But what happens when an ad is actually out there and not performing? So let me show you how we'll tackle that. So how does this actually look in practice? So imagine we're running meta ads and the data flags that a specific ad isn't performing well. For example, maybe its click-through rate is low for a particular audience. So then the data gives us the what, but the problem, what the problem is. But then our team provides the why and how to fix it. So we use our expertise to dig deeper. We look into things like, is the creative wrong for that specific segment? Is maybe the message unclear? Is a low CTR click-through rate can often help tell us, if a message is unclear, little flags like that. Or maybe it's the landing page experience that's letting it down. So sometimes the ad itself is great, but then the destination isn't converting it as it should. So this analysis then allows us to generate effective, actionable, and data-driven ideas for immediate improvement. And by making those continuous and impactful tweaks, we can then ensure that the results keep on climbing. So ultimately, it's about, making those smart, those strategic adjustments, and then, those adjustments that truly drive a real return on investment for you. So you've seen the impact AI can have and how it works with our human expertise. But now let's get a little bit more practical. So you're probably wondering, how do I actually start using this? So let's jump into how some helpful AI prompts to get you started, and then how they can boost your content game overall. So first up, for ideation, you could try prompting something like, suggest 5 engaging social media content themes for, your brand, and relate it to a current event or topic. And then that can really help spark creativity and quickly tie in content ideas to, what's currently trending or what's relevant for your audience. Next, for content creation, you could prompt something like draft an outline for a blog post titled whichever, and then focus on a list of key subtopics. That then quickly gives a really solid structure to create a really comprehensive piece overall. For content calendar and repurposing, you could suggest something like suggest a month-long content calendar targeting a specific marketing goal and include various content formats. So then that helps you quickly organize your strategy and ensures maximizing your content's reach across multiple different channels and platforms. And then finally, for tone and style, and this is my personal favorite way to use it, you could ask it to, say, rewrite a paragraph in a specific tone. So it could be humorous or friendly, more professional. You can name what you want. And then that allows you to quickly tailor your message to fully resonate with your audience. And then that ensures your brand's unique tone of voice is perfectly captured across the board, across your content. So these prompts really help to, kickstart creativity. It helps to streamline, pardon me, it helps to streamline the content process. And then that allows us to deliver really high quality, targeted content more efficiently. So let's move on. We've touched on a few specific ways AI can help with prompts and hinted at some tools along the way. But to give you, I suppose, a clearer picture of the landscape, I wanted to give a quick overview of some key categories and examples of AI-powered tools that you can use right now. So let's dive into some of those categories and examples. So first you have AI writing assistants like Jasper AI or Copy AI, and these are great for initial drafts, for ad copy, for brainstorming ideas, and giving you a massive head start. Then there are tools for SEO content optimization like Surfer SEO or Market Views, and they help you create content that ranks higher by analyzing your top performing content and then suggesting crucial keywords and the likes of optimal structures. For content research and ideation, tools like SEMrush or BuzzSumo, they all use AI to help you find, trending topics and to understand truly what your audience cares about. And that then ensures your content is always relevant. And then next, for social media management with AI, the likes of Buffer and Hootsuite, they both leverage AI to optimize your posting times, analyze your performance, and getting your content seen by more people at the right time. And finally, for refining your messages, I'm sure you've all had those scary moments where something has gone out with a typo. I'm sure you can resonate with the fact that it's every marketer's one of our worst nightmares. So for really refining your messages, we have the likes of grammar and style checkers like Grammarly and Pro Writing Aid, and these offer advanced AI suggestions for the likes of clarity, tone, style, ensuring your writing is polished and professional, and of course, making sure there's no typos. So we've just seen the impressive array of tools and capabilities that AI brings to the table across the entire content lifecycle. But beyond how it helps, you might still be asking, why should I embrace AI in my content strategy? And that's a great question. So to answer it directly, let's quickly break down, the key benefits AI brings to your content marketing. So first off, it means increased efficiency and significant time savings. So AI automates the repetitive tasks and then drafts content fast, which then frees up time for your team to be more strategic, to create more strategic creative work that truly moves the needle for your brand. And then there's the enhanced personalization. So this helps you deliver content that's way more relevant and engaging, and in really building a stronger audience connection and deeper loyalty. You also get data-driven insights and optimization. So AI can give you a much deeper look into insights to see what's actually working. So this means you can then continuously improve your campaigns and get a much better return on investment. And then finally, it's fantastic for scalability. So AI basically helps you produce more high quality content without needing to increase your headcount. So it means you can effectively reach a wider audience for your business, and with that you don't then have to compromise on quality. So as I wrap up my section, I just want to circle back to where I started, and that's the constant, the juggle of tasks, the deadlines, and the pressure. And AI can truly be a game changer. AI can be a game changer here, and it's a real kind of, a save the day type of tool, for tackling your workload. But it's really important to remember that while AI is incredibly powerful, it absolutely doesn't replace the need for your invaluable human creativity. It doesn't replace strategic thinking, the likes of careful ethical considerations. It's really important to always review and edit your AI generated content. You need to make sure you infuse it with your unique brand's voice, your core values, and from that, the most successful content strategies, they're always going to be the ones that effectively blend that power of AI with the irreplaceable human expertise. So that's where the real magic happens. So with that, I'll now hand you over to Anik. She's going to dive into how AI is shaping the broader digital world and what all of this means for your business.
Perfect. Thank you, Zara. Some great insights there on content and improving productivity. So now onto the wider impact of AI on us marketeers and e-commerce professionals. So for us in the world of paid media, things are changing at an incredible pace. We're not just seeing shifts, we're at the moment experiencing like a full-blown AI tsunami that's altering how users are searching, how platforms are operating, and ultimately how we need to strategize to drive results for our e-commerce businesses and the clients that we're working with. So with this in mind, I'm going to just jump into kind of what this means. Over the next kind of 10 to 15 minutes or so, I'm going to dive into some kind of critical areas. First, we're going to unpack the evolving search landscape and AI overviews. Why are our clicks getting harder to come by, more expensive? What's driving this kind of clickless search phenomenon? Then we're going to explore the integration of shopping features directly into AI platforms, which is a huge shift that we need to be aware of and kind of planning for. We're also going to look at how YouTube's new AI overviews are impacting. The AI summaries are curated video clips appearing on the top of search results and are changing how users are discovering and engaging with video content. And most importantly, we are going to be diving into practical and actionable solutions to help you not just survive, but hopefully thrive in this new AI-driven world. So we'll cover strategies like channel diversification and campaign diversification, and then also how you can optimize your content and e-commerce site for AI. So let's get started and have a look at how we can navigate this exciting and slightly, challenging times. So kind of, I don't want to bring up COVID again because I know it feels like it's, maybe potentially a distant memory, but the post-COVID digital landscape has experienced, huge increase in terms of the number of advertisers participating in Google Ads auctions. A huge number of people went online during COVID, and that resulted in, a hugely more competitive space or advertising space on Google search results pages. And then layered on top of that, in kind of the last year or so, people are leveraging more AI tools. ChatGPT has come on board, or Google Gemini, all the different AI aspects. And this trend has contributed to a huge rise in search volume. However, it has led to a decline in actual clicks. So this has caused our click-through rates to decrease and then our cost per click also to rise. things like the Google AI generated overviews are hugely contributing to this kind of growing number of clickless searches. And often users are finding their answers, directly within those AI overviews without needing to go into the actual search results where advertisers are often showing up. So that's, I suppose, the why in terms of the click challenge. Like the reason why our clicks are becoming more expensive and our click-through rates are going down is because of these AI overviews. But as you can see from the graph here on the right, it isn't just, I suppose, an issue that's going to be affecting niche industries. Cost per clicks are on a significant upward trend across the board, across various industries. We're seeing increases as high as 35% in 2024 compared to 2023. And now that we're in 2025, that's increasing again. The picture, I suppose, out of the 23 industries that we have here listed on the right, only 3 of these saw a decrease in CPCs year over year. And they're often not ones that fall into like kind of the e-commerce landscape. So this means that the vast majority of advertisers, regardless of their industry, are experiencing this reality of traffic becoming more expensive in 2025 and beyond. So it's not really just like a ripple that we need to adjust to. It's kind of a strong current now that we need to be navigating, kind of understanding what we can do to overcome this and kind of make sure that we're still, showing up and being relevant in these spaces. So sometimes I suppose a real world example hits different. So I just thought I'd bring this in. When I was researching for the webinar today, I was getting hit by AI overviews like firsthand, and I just kind of think it shows like how often they're showing up and what they're showing up for. So specifically, I was searching for specific, factual data to help back up this idea that CPCs are on the rise. And while I was looking for this information, I fell victim to the thing that I'm warning you about. Google's AI overview popped up right at the top of the search results, and it gave me the exact answer I needed without me needing to click onto a single website or click onto an ad or click onto an organic result. It was basically showing me what I needed to see, answering my question without me kind of clicking any further. So as I suppose advertisers, we need to become like, it's obviously very efficient for me as a user. I got the answer very, very quickly, but it also hammered home the reality to me that like I need to be making sure that like for our customers and for the clients that we work with, we're making sure that our information is showing up within these search results as well. So this is kind of a fundamental shift that we need to be adapting for. And there is ways to adapt to it that I'm going to cover in a couple of slides. But it is becoming the new reality that the way that we've advertised kind of up to now, kind of the placements, things like that are shifting and we need to adapt to them. Similarly, I suppose, not just on, Google's search results, but on other placements like YouTube, we're also testing out AI overviews. So you can see here on the example on the right, it's similar to kind of what happens on Google search. When you type in a search query, so in this example, I've typed in like say noise cancelling headphones to the search bar on YouTube. The AI is basically within YouTube scanning all of the relevant videos and then providing users with highlight clips that it deems most informative and useful to that search query. So these clips will appear in a carousel, as you can see here, just like under the main image. And basically what that's doing is giving them that highlight reel of what they might want to watch. So for brands and creators, this obviously has, significant implications. Just like on the main kind of Google search, this is likely going to, result in reductions in visibility, in views on our actual YouTube videos. So if users are getting the core information they need from these highlight clips, they don't necessarily need to click through to our full video. And that means less eyeballs on the videos themselves, and then also like less ads that are being shown to them within that ad content and kind of where we want to show up. So this, I suppose, translates to potentially a ripple effect of like increased CPCs on YouTube, increased CPMs on the platform for advertisers. And we're essentially facing like another layer of that like attention economy challenge, like where the AI is curating the content experience before the user has had a chance to engage with our video or our ad. It's something new again that we need to like strategically look at and like how can we overcome it. Then I suppose where things get really interesting and potentially game changing for e-commerce. We've talked about AI impacting search, but now AI is actually directly impacting like the shopping experience. OpenAI, so the powerhouse behind ChatGPT, announced that they are rolling out, they've started to roll out shopping functionalities directly within ChatGPT search. So users are now able to find and browse products directly within their AI conversations. So they're, say, for example, looking for a coffee machine, they're able to tell AI, this is what I'm looking for, this is kind of what I need. What would you suggest? What's the best coffee machine, etc. Initially, AI is focusing on big categories: fashion, beauty, home goods, electrics, which are areas I know a lot of the businesses that are attending today fall into. But even if your business is not within those categories, realistically, it is going to expand into all of the different niches kind of over the next kind of couple of weeks, months, etc. So what's crucial here, I suppose, is that like these are where products show up within these results, and where you can shop for these products within results. These aren't paid ads. These are something that are showing up organically based on the organic integration and based on what AI is finding, on the internet and on our websites about our product information. So the implications here are huge. This leads to an even kind of bigger shift in how AI search is impacting how users engage with their products. If users can fulfill their shopping needs directly within ChatGPT, what does that mean for kind of how we're advertising for our websites and kind of how we are, putting information on our websites? So this is a space that we definitely need to watch closely to understand, like, how can we start to kind of leverage these new releases and kind of what we can do to kind of stay on trend with them. So like, I know I'm going through all the challenges, but I promise I will come to the solutions at the end. But I just wanted to show you here a quick video of how this is being rolled out within ChatGPT. So you can see here entering a simple search query, and then it is showing product directly within it based on kind of what it feels is most relevant. And you're also able to see like what people are saying about it, understanding kind of, I suppose, the information. You're able to see from that example all the information that ChatGPT has found online about the product, about the features, etc. So then now we need to be able to adapt. We need to be able to make sure that we're showing up in those places with our products as well. So we've gone through all of those challenges. It's clear the marketing world is changing, I know, but it's not all downhill. We want to make sure that we are now kind of giving you some strategies and tactics to not just adapt, but to kind of thrive in this new era. So let's pivot to some of the kind of ways that you can empower your e-commerce marketing efforts. So with that, I suppose, in mind, there's a couple of things that we need to look at as solutions. In terms of, I suppose, channel and campaign diversification, it's more critical than ever to broaden your marketing portfolio to ensure you're reaching potential customers across as many channels as possible. This means looking beyond the traditional key players of kind of Google and Meta. We now need to maybe strategically be looking at where our customers are, no matter the platform. So this could involve engaging audiences on, rapidly growing platforms like TikTok. A lot of people are already on there advertising. Maybe reaching people through their preferred, streaming services. Like, people are kind of still obviously consistently watching, your Netflix, your Prime Video, things like that. And new advertising possibilities have kind of appeared there already. Or it might mean taking a step back and looking at maybe traditional media types. People still obviously receive things like, letters in the post all the time. And we've seen like a resurgence of, businesses like paper planes, where you can get, direct mail solutions into their post box, to be again showing up in a new way and kind of inspiring them to go look at your content rather than just relying on them to search for your content. But it's not, I suppose, just about diversifying platforms. It's also about diversifying the campaign types that you're using within each channel. While different audience types will naturally behave differently, and your campaigns should reflect that, a key takeaway here is the importance of promoting and positioning your brand across the entire funnel. Over recent years, I suppose I've noticed that people are quite reliant on definitely like bottom of funnel activities. We're looking, all of our kind of conversion ads, focusing on making sure we're optimizing for return on ad spend on a constant basis. But I suppose this shift into AI now means that we need to kind of make sure we're absolutely incorporating top and middle of funnel activities. We want to focus on brand building and awareness at the top of the funnel to make sure that we're future-proofing ourselves with those bottom of funnel ads as well. So if you think about it, when in a landscape where clicks are hard to come by and you're kind of fighting within the search results to kind of be showing up, you want to make sure your brand is top of mind. And by to be top of mind, that means, like, say, for example, they're going directly to your site. And that means we've done all of that brand building activity from a top of funnel perspective, showing up and making sure they remember us, so that when they go look for something, they're directly coming to us rather than us having to necessarily compete as much within that like highly competitive space at the top of like a Google search result. So I suppose when we talk about diversifying, while Google search, I suppose, is undeniably still the most widely used platform for individuals above the age of 25, it's crucial to remember that our potential customers are spending their time online in different places. They're not always spending their time on Google or within like ChatGPT. There's a massive and continuously growing cohort of users on social platforms like Instagram, like TikTok. These platforms aren't just for entertainment. They're hugely powerful discovery engines where users are spending a huge amount of their time. So this means that while a robust Google search strategy is a non-negotiable, neglecting these other channels is absolutely a missed opportunity. We can't be doing it anymore. So your audience is fragmented across all of these channels, and we need to make sure that we're reaching them and being impactful where they are, and engaging them, engaging them on their terms, not on our terms. So, on to, I suppose, what we can do from a site perspective. For years, marketers have joked about, I suppose, the predicted death of SEO. But ironically, in this AI-dominated world, SEO is kind of the key to staying relevant. More than ever before, it's not the death of SEO, it's absolutely the evolution of SEO and what we need to be doing to optimize. So the game is changing from simply ranking for keywords to optimizing your web pages for inclusion in these AI overviews and in kind of the ChatGPT search results and other generative AI responses. So this means we need to think beyond traditional search rankings. We need to focus on optimizing for natural language, integrating more conversational phrases into our content, because that's how people are interacting with AI tools. And we want to make sure we're showing up in those AI results. And this has basically means we have a birth of a new term. And I know within marketing, we get a new term or a new acronym all the time, but this is GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. So generative optimization, actually, what does it mean for your day-to-day business? This means that we need to be kind of changing the way that we're speaking. So while we're still in the very early days of kind of constantly learning about what we need to do here, some thought leaders in the space have come out with kind of actionable ways that we can step forward into this. So that would be things like focusing on long tail keyword questions. So people aren't just typing in single search terms anymore. When they're interacting with AI, they're asking full questions. So we need to make sure that we're responding to those questions in a very specific way with the content that we're generating. We need to be embracing summaries and FAQs. So summary blocks on your site, making things concise. The way we have the TLDR, too long, didn't read, we want to make sure that we have those summary blocks right at the top of the longer content that summarize exactly what we're about to talk about, so that AI can quickly pull from those main points for its overviews. You want to make sure you have super robust FAQ sections. So building out comprehensive FAQ sections on your website is really, really important, because that's where it's going to look. That's where AI is going to extract the direct answers from your site. People are looking for specific questions. It's going to look for those questions on your site and then pull out those common answers that it needs. You also need to be providing structured data. So this is super critical, ensuring your website structured data is up to date and completely filled out for every web page. And then there's, I suppose, no sugarcoating it. We might see a reduction in overall traffic and a higher kind of cost to drive the same level of traffic over the next couple of years. But that is the reality of the changing landscape, and we need to be adopting these GEO strategies to be more effective on our sites going forward. So we've talked about kind of what GEO is, but there's definitely some, I suppose, specific ways that you can be adapting this into your site. So here at Studio 49, we have developed out these new pages called advanced landing pages. And basically what these do is craft ways for your collection pages to be far more impactful in the AI-driven world. They're not just your traditional, product grids that are the standard kind of collection pages that we're used to. These advanced landing pages have kind of lots of different ways that they're supporting with GEO. So they contain things like richer written content. So we're talking about kind of more descriptive, informative text that thoroughly explains your product categories, features, benefits, all the crucial things that AI needs to understand the context and relevance of your products. They've got product comparison sections, so it's integrating dedicated sections that allows for users to compare products side by side. And this not only helps users when they're on their site, but it also provides that structured data that AI can leverage to understand product distinctions and highlight key differentiators. So it can basically pull that information into the results section of the conversation it's having with its users. Dynamic product recommendations, so going beyond the core products, making sure we're having intelligent cross sells and upsells means that AI is basically able to pull in other products that it thinks will be relevant to the search query that someone has pulled in. So there's kind of lots of different ways why these collection pages can really, really help, because they have, so many features that AI is reliant on to pull your answers through. So by investing in like comprehensive AI-friendly landing pages, you're not just optimizing for the clicks, you're optimizing for the discoverability of your products and your website. So with that all being said, that kind of brings us to the deep dive of our talk today in terms of AI and its impact on performance marketing. I know we've covered a lot of ground today, from how AI is already making a tangible impact on ad performance and costs, to the challenges and rising CPCs across industries, and finally some solutions for content creation and site optimization for this new landscape. But I just wanted to thank you so much for attending today. I really hope that you found, the session valuable, and we're leaving with some, new tactics and strategies of your own. And on behalf of Studio 49, myself and my co-presenters Laura and Zara, thank you so much for your time and attention. Your engagement has been super appreciated. I know we are right at 11 o'clock, but if there is any questions that we can help with immediately, let us know. And if not, we'll definitely come back to you by email. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Anik, Zara, and Laura. Just in case anyone didn't see it in the chat, if you do have a question, please raise your hand and we can unmute you then. So there's a question here from Hanne.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, we can hear you.
Thank you for this perfect presentation. My question is how AI can help in personalized offers for e-commerces.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I just missed the middle bit.
How can AI help e-commerces for personalized offers? When I bought something, it can suggest me another product that I will be interested and buy.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I suppose it depends on the platform that you want to consider here. So within, say, the likes of Klaviyo, there is AI kind of pre-built in, which has personalized recommendations based on people's past purchases and based on products that they may have viewed or interacted with in the past. And you are able to include those personalized product recommendations within like post-purchase emails, as an example. So you could say, thank you so much for buying this particular product. You say if you wanted to immediately, like, here is some, great additions to the thing that you purchased, if you wanted to upsell immediately. Or what you can do is have a delay within those email flow campaigns. So basically trigger out a week later to say something along the lines of, we hope you're enjoying your product, here's the next step, depending on, I suppose, the products that you're offering, if they have maybe like a short space of time that they're valid for, or if they're longer purchases. Those product recommendations can be super, super valid. And I suppose Klaviyo released in the last couple of months, or I suppose last 2 years, realistically, they released their KDP, which is their customer data platform, which deep dives into specific products and says, right, based on all of the people who bought this product in the past, what is the next product that they're likely to buy, and that we should try and upsell them. And you can base, product recommendations off the back of that as well, in terms of creating flows that recommend those products after a purchase. So that's the way that Klaviyo does it. Obviously, there's ways to do it within your other marketing platforms too, where you're excluding recent purchases and then pushing your best sellers back within your campaign. So AI is basically determining what products to re-push back to somebody, but excluding out products from the feed that have already been purchased by that person. I hope that helps from.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
And we just have one more question there then as well.
Hi. You have a question?
Might have some technical difficulties there. Any questions anyway, guys, if you haven't had time to answer them today, because I know we have gone slightly over, please feel free marking at Studio 49, ping them across, or kind of reach out to any of us on LinkedIn if that's kind of your preferred method, and we'd be happy to kind of answer anything in that regard.
There's one in the chat there as well. Just outside of copy creation, are you guys using any AI tools for visual content creation? Thank you, Nicholas.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I know that Canva has great AI tools, which are, they're fantastic. But in terms of, I suppose, uh, Google 360 is one for video that we haven't really deep dived into yet, but it's definitely something to look into. So yeah, we use the likes of Canva and stuff like that for visuals.
Yeah, I suppose on a daily basis, Canva kind of comes into the fold a lot because it's just such an easy one, because it does like the background removal, it's got the magic media, all that kind of fun stuff. I think what Zara's mentioning there is Google VO3 is the new release. That's the one that's doing basically can create video content, like longer form video content. Like I've seen examples online of it creating like whole ads for TV. But again, I think it's like $299 a month, so it's a bit of a saucy one. But we haven't jumped into that just yet. Perfect. We might leave it there, guys. And like I said, please make sure if you have any questions. Oh, sorry.
Good morning, Annie. Can you hear me now?
I can, yeah.
All right. First of all, thank you. Thank you very much to all of you guys. Like, it was very insightful and informative, especially for me because I actually just joined Monaghan's. And just wanted to have a question from you, if that's okay for you. And specifically, you just mentioned digital marketers should try moving out of Google and Meta ads moving forward. And I was a little surprised to hear you didn't mention about the Bing ads specifically. I mean, is this just a miss, or you don't just value Bing as much?
Oh, we do. I suppose within, we definitely use Bing ads across a number of our clients as well. I suppose Bing makes up like a significantly smaller percentage. So I suppose I can't remember what the exact facts are, but say it's like a 90-10 split within the Irish market at the moment. About 90% of all searches are happening within Google, and then I think it's about actually closer to 8% is happening within Bing. For clients that have the budget, we absolutely are promoting on Bing as well, and we have similar strategies and AI tools in place across Bing as well. But just because it's such a small percentage of the current search volume, we just focused on Google today.
Perfect, because with my recent experience, specifically working now in past 5 years, I've seen a lot of B2B conversions. It's probably due to the single sign-on devices. I mean, the quality of the traffic from Bing ads is really intentional, and it converts very well. And that was to just gauge it. I would say in 2022 that was more towards the B2B business, but I've seen recent trends. Even it's actually picking up in B2C space as well. I mean, has that been your experience as well?
Absolutely. So we've definitely seen Bing making a big impact. I think 2024 we started to see it kind of growing a little bit more. As you mentioned, I suppose often Bing is used as that search provider when it's installed on people's work devices. So often people will come with Bing pre-installed, or what we're definitely seeing is the older demographic. And the old demographic is, I suppose, people who, this is potentially an assumption, but people who maybe don't know how to turn over their default browser from Bing to Google. That's kind of one thing that we've noticed, is there definitely is an older demographic that are using Bing. And then thirdly, I suppose the fact that ChatGPT and the fact that Microsoft is kind of coming back more into play nowadays with the AI functionality, Bing naturally is going to come back in a little bit more with that as well, because ChatGPT was one of the, I suppose, leaders in terms of AI and where people were moving to when they first wanted to discover the tool.
Yeah, I recently had the news Microsoft is trying out with the Twitter's AI model, which is Grok. And on the top of that, ChatGPT is definitely going to get mature in upcoming times. Like, recent e-commerce conversions are happening to ChatGPT as well. But it was just out of curiosity because my fiance, she works in corporate and she just uses single sign-on, like, it's Office 365 and goes to its Microsoft search engine. And that's where, I mean, she drops on the e-commerce website, log up like Shein, Temu and all. And it gives a good quality of traffic. Like, there's definitely some sort of intent.
Absolutely. No, it's definitely one that we would have in our lineup as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for the answer. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. Perfect. We'll tie it up there, guys, just because I'm very conscious of time. But again, thank you so much for joining today. And we look forward to seeing you at the next Studio 49 webinar, but reach out for any questions. Thank you.